This is Michelle Goldman with MDF1 Project Week 4. Okay, so for the remote data website project, took the recommendation and made the application using the tab bar controller, so that way it just drops the storyboards in for you. That formatting's already all set up. Although I do know how to do it manually, I just figured that would be easier. It seemed pretty simple this week, straightforward. We've got the main view with the tab bar controller for our web and our source, which we have here, web and source. And here's our UI web view, which is the web page that comes up automatically when the app loads. And then you can click on anything and it will load. You can click on something and then stop the load, although it's loading pretty quickly. It makes it hard to stop it. We can go back, all the way back, so that the button grays out when we get back as far as we can, and we can't go back any further. And then also the reload reloads the page. So I don't know if you can see that here. Let's see. I have a good page for that. So maybe the connection's just too good to be able to see that. But it is working nonetheless. There's the source code where all of that's pulled in, and that is our second view controller. Not much to that as far as the code and what we needed to have. So we've got our UI web view delegate for that main view for the web page to come up in, and just the outlet for that, and then for actually I had a back button that I'd set up separately, but was able to put it into my on click, so I should have taken that out. But everything still functions and runs without errors. So here is our URL to load the web page. So it's the top10s.com, top 10 websites, and here it is where it loads. The NSURL request. They can go back, so that way if you're able to go back, you can. If not, then that's when it grays the button out. This is actually the piece of code that will gray the button out when you can't go back any further. And then here's our options for the backstop and reload, just by putting the tags 0, 1, and 2 on those, and setting up the UI bar button items with whether they can go back or stop loading and then reload. So that, I think the reload was maybe the only one not mentioned in the tutorials, but found that pretty easily. Then our second view controller, so we have the NSURL connection data delegate and the parser delegate, our text view, which is where all the text is going into, the request, the URL, the connection, and then the request data, which is the object that contains all the data that's being pulled down from the website. And the implementation file, this is where we create the URL, the request that's going to be sent to the server, the connection, and creating that data object, which is what we saw here. That's where the data will go to, and that's where we're creating it here. And then our NSURL connection to check to see if it did receive valid data, and if so, it's going to append or update that to whatever the existing data is. And function for when all data has been pulled down from the URL, and then it can convert that, and we'll display it in our web text view, which is our UI text view here, and we'll put it in the correct format for the index.html, and that's it. That's the whole project.